Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thank you for joining me for the Courageous Capricorn April 2022 horoscope. It's a big month this month. We're having 2 new moons in many parts of the world this month, and the second new moon on the 30th is known as a black moon. It's also a partial solar eclipse. And this will be in your 5th house. It's in Taurus, so there will be some real physical effects for many people this month. It's quite a big month. We've also got some really lovely influences involving Jupiter, Neptune and Pluto. I'll talk about those. And it's just full on. I'll give you a brief explanation of what I do. I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you. We'll have a look at your horoscope in depth. I won't be doing the psychic channeling only because these videos are getting too long. I like to keep them under 20 minutes if possible. So we'll see how we go with that. If you are new, please consider joining the channel and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, let's go to the main board. Okay, and this is your horoscope we'll come to very shortly. But let's draw the cards first. So the first card for the first half of the month, if you like, that one's just jumped out. It's the Hermit card. Okay, so it's really time for you to go within. Maybe you don't feel as social as what you normally do. This is a time of learning about yourself. You see this wolf here, it is often a symbol of learning, and sometimes you might learn about yourself so that you can teach other people later on. You are the light, okay, and it's time to find the light within yourself. So yeah, maybe it's more of an inner time. You can see that here in your chart indirectly, because there's a lot of activity more here in what's called the northern hemisphere of the chart, and that is about going within a private chart. So privacy and your personal life becomes more important, and you know, not really the time for going out into the world so much. Let's have a look at the second card now and see what comes up. Let's go for that one. Okay, closing my eyes now. I've got a flash of bright blue, reminds me of course of Archangel Michael, and just letting you know that spirit is on your side. When I see that bright blue, I know it means protection from the other side. Also can be about self-expression, you know, your throat chakra, and there's something here about past lives that I'm picking up. You might become more interested in what happened before you were born, perhaps, especially if you spend time alone and you meditate on, you know, what might have been before you even got here, before you incarnated. The card that comes up for you is the 3 of Pentacles. This is all about work and being rewarded for your work in a very suitable way. She's wearing gold here, so this is about the solar plexus. It's often very goal-oriented behavior. It may involve authority figures in some way, but there's a sense of success and accomplishment around it. But I'm just psychically picking up, be careful with your digestion. There might be something come up. Perhaps you need probiotics. You might become aware that there's something going on with your digestion, and then you want to fix it, and so you start on probiotics, for example. That's one thing that could happen. And then after you do that, gradually you feel better and you become more successful in your life. But this is about doing good work, often with an artistic leaning, and being rewarded for that good work. Okay, all right, there are your 2 cards. So just bear those in mind. I'll just put them like this so you can see them. And I'm going to make this bigger so it's easier to read. All right, so a few things to talk about. The private chart I mentioned, the 2 new moons, the partial solar eclipses in your 5th house. I'll talk about that. Your ruler Saturn continues here in your second house of possessions, money, and the things that you value. Okay, so there's been some sort of restriction around this, or some sort of delay or limitation. But what is it, 22 degrees, 4 minutes in Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius. So you're sort of maybe, you know, just over 2/3 through this passage of Saturn in your second house. So you're coming to the end of this. You know, it won't happen overnight, but it will happen. Saturn can spend, you know, around 2 years to 2.5 years in each house, just on average. And during that time, you know, you might feel that with your finances or your possessions, things are not going the way you would like, because it's hard to increase. But the good side of it is, whatever you gain under Saturn, you're unlikely to lose. Saturn is like a builder. It wants to gradually build on things, and now it's 2/3 of the way through, or just over. You might find there's a change coming up, not particularly in April, but like gradual change around your finances and some sort of improvement. There's a lot of other energy in there. You've got Mars as well, that'll be helping you in some way, and Venus, smoothing communications over about your finances. Jupiter conjuncts Neptune. This is big. I'm going to talk about this, and also Jupiter sextiles Pluto, and again this is often to do with authority figures, as indicated, as I just talked about with this card, the Three of Pentacles. All right, so let's have a look now in depth. Depending on where you are, the 31st of March or the 1st of April, a new moon in your 4th house here, joining Mercury, Sun and Chiron, and this can give you a very strong desire for comfort, security, your home, your family. Maybe you want to sort of be more private, or be, you know, have things a bit more personal. It also indicates some sort of interaction with women, particularly your mother. You know, it's in your 4th house, so it's probably female family members. Okay, and you might find that if you can spend time at home and with your family, you're likely to be quite, you know, much more happier. It is time to replenish yourself, and you know, not to go all out into the world. So domestic and family matters are emphasised now. The 2nd of April to the 5th of April, Mars conjuncts Saturn. Become aware of your own resources. If you've got sort of energies, you know, bits and pieces out there in the outside world, gather in all your scattered forces, decide what works and what doesn't work, and you might decide to let go of some things. Concentrate on your own work. There may be delays, of course. Saturn likes to slow things down, and it can be frustrating because Mars is very future oriented and wants to speed things up and wants you to get going. But you might be really blessed in doing a difficult job, or a slow and tedious job, and you can actually do it. Might be something that you've put off for a while. Saturn will help you with those slow jobs. Try not to be discouraged. You can actually use this energy. Use the slowness and the restriction to your advantage now. 4th of April to the 2nd of May, Venus is in your 3rd house here, and this is great for anything to do with your neighbours, your local area, you know, running short trips, doing errands, chatting and having coffee with somebody who lives close by. It's a great time for cultural events and taking short trips, and also sometimes distant family members you might hear from, siblings or cousins that you haven't heard from for a while. Venus smooths everything over, basically. The 6th of April to the 9th of April, the Sun is opposition your MC, and here's the MC up here, and the Sun making this opposition. And so it's time again to withdraw your energy from external sources and focus more on what you're doing. It's a time of quiet reflection and attention to your inner world, and being with your family. You might want to just lie low and you don't feel like doing much, and that's fine. And 7th of April to the 10th of April, Mars conjuncts Venus. This is fabulous for relationships. Brings strong passion, sexual feelings, and you might feel quite compelled to be with someone special. If you're not currently in a relationship, sometimes this energy is a very big help in getting you out there, in some way to meet someone special. And it's fabulous also for artistic work or creative work generally. 6th of April to the 14th of April, Jupiter conjuncts Neptune. Okay, this is really fabulous because you might find that it's a great time for travel, a vacation. You could be doing a lot of daydreaming. Your imagination is on full bore, and so because of that, your creativity is lifted. And you could be more in touch with spiritual forces. Attending spiritual functions or festivals might be on the cards. And this gives you a greater vision of what your life could be. And so it's a great time to allow yourself some time to follow these things up. The 10th of April to the 29th of April, Mercury moves into your 5th house here. This 5th house is all about creativity, romance, the world of the child. So you might find lots of communications and thoughts about these things. Entertainment, amusement, sports, maybe crossword puzzles and things like that might be interesting. And again, your creativity is boosted, so it's great for creative writing. And you're likely to feel quite inspired during this time. The 13th of April to the 24th of May, Mars moves into your 3rd house here. It brings a lot of energy to your communication and your thoughts. Be careful you don't overthink things with Mars energy here. It gives you more energy. Also, with your communications, you could be more direct than usual. And because you have so much energy and potency in your communications, just be gentle in the way that you say things, because other people don't have the same energy as you. And watch you don't come on too strong, basically. 13th of April to the 16th of April, Mars sextiles your ascendant. You're able to be very clear and above board with other people. And even if you don't agree on everything, you can probably put your point of view in such a way that it's non-offensive. You're likely to be more confident and to appear like you know what you're doing. It's always good, and other people will be more inclined to follow your lead. The 16th of April, full moon goes into your 11th house here. Sometimes this can cause a little bit of turbulence with friends or connections, but it's like it brings up the need to have some sort of community or fellowship with other people. And it's a great time to deepen the closeness between yourself and others. Cultural events and group efforts are highlighted now. The 18th of April to the 20th of May, the Sun moves into your 5th house here. See how much activity there is in this creative zone, and it's fabulous for romance. With all of this activity, if you're looking for romance, this is actually giving you more energy for it. You could be feeling more energized and inspired, and it's like you want to express yourself in some creative way. Maybe you feel more playful, more free, perhaps more spontaneity. There's more spontaneity. And the dramatic and performing arts, sports and games, leisure and pleasure are probably what you'll be interested in now. 28th of April to the 22nd of May, Mercury moves into your 6th house here of everyday work, habits, health and well-being. You could be thinking or learning, reading about a technique or a procedure to improve your work, or somehow to improve your everyday life through your habits. And there could be very beneficial discussions with co-workers or the people that you see on a regular sort of daily basis. And so, it mightn't be earth-shatteringly significant, but you can make minor adjustments that are quite beneficial now. It's also a great time if you want to improve your health or your well-being, and you might have a lot of communications about how to do that. The 30th April sees a partial new moon solar eclipse. Okay, all solar eclipses are new moons, by the way, in many parts of the world, in Taurus, and it's in your 5th house here. So you're likely to be coming out of your shell, and to want to express your real feelings and desires, and maybe you want to care for other people and you want to be able to express that as well. You could have a lot more energy now than usual, and your playful, fun side is highlighted. 30th of April to the 3rd of May, also Mars sextiles Uranus. This is exciting, actually. And if you have been feeling a bit bored with your everyday routine, now is a time when something can happen, so you can just make your life more interesting. You might decide to go, out to a local restaurant for example, or do things that you haven't done before. Maybe you want to take up some sort of new sport, perhaps. There could be some sort of crazy desires with Uranus. Uranus is sort of eccentric and doesn't like to do things same old, same old. Uranus wants to, tweak things in your life so that life's more interesting one way or the other. 27th of April to the 7th of May, Jupiter sextiles Pluto. This is fabulous for dealing with people that are in sort of authority positions, perhaps government departments, agencies, organisations and things like that. You're likely to get more cooperation from them. Okay, remember I was saying about this card here, the solar plexus, doing work, and people in authority help you somehow. Okay, and so that's quite likely at this time. You might find that even if they didn't want to know you before, or they ignored you, all of a sudden they become more helpful than before. You could also be asked to be some sort of representative for an organisation, or to assume a leadership role in some way. And if you do that, you're likely to be more successful. Okay, so courageous Capricorns, this is your horoscope, and I hope it's useful for you in some way. If you're new, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell right now. I want to wish you all a very insightful month and many blessings to everyone. Okay, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.